Blaze Media, North Face faces heat over sponsorship of overnight LGBT camp where kids perform in drag. Explore their orientation. We'll put it that way since I can't say the actual word. You can look at the screen if you aren't driving or something, right? So I got an article for you today. Now, normally we see this stuff all the time, right? Nowadays, these companies are all supporting the LGBTQ, trans, all the stuff, right? They're all going woke. All these companies, they have this forward-facing woke statement or department, etc. And I know that a lot of these companies do this so they can save face. So they can say, like, oh, look, we might have violated the whole woke agenda, but we have the proper woke politics. See, we have this department in our company, so we know that happens too. I'm sure. We don't know, but come on. These companies don't care about LGBTQ rights. They care about customers. And they don't want to be attacked by a mob of people who are going like, you're not woke enough. And they can always just pull out their official statement. Look, we are woke. See, we have the correct opinion. But this is crazy. This is so far over the top.
Over the line? You're so far past the line that you can't even see the line. The line is a dot to you.
It's just insane. So before we get started, I do want to thank everybody for stopping by and supporting my work. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed. Drop a comment down below. Like I said, let me know what you think. Argue with me. I know I get the woke people coming in here telling me that I'm stupid all the time. That's fine. You guys can tell me I'm stupid. You're wrong. It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong, too. That's the beauty about the United States. You're allowed to be wrong. You can find me on Rumble, Twitter, BitChute, Odyssey. Let's get into this article now. The North Face is again facing scrutiny, this time over its sponsorship of a non-straight camp where children engage in sexualized activities. Children do that. Yeah. Ooh. This should not exist. This should be illegal. And as we get into this, you're going to be like, what's going on here? The American athletic clothing company is listed with Toms, Brooks, and Eno, one of the leading sponsors of Camp Brave Trails, a fully accredited overnight summer camp specially designed for LGBTQ teens ages 12 to 17, with campgrounds located in New York and Southern California. The North Face has apparently been shelling cash and gear for the camp for years, noting in a June 2021 post that it was donating over $70,000 in LGBT-themed products to the camp. It's a lot of that's like double the annual salary for some states. The average. According to the camp's website, children attending the camp bunk with 9 to 10 peers of the same age group, never divided by gender. Of course not. Why would they? Well, they got to explore everything, right? The ins and outs, if you know what I mean. Campers are encouraged to spread their wings, spread their legs, and make their own decisions because they're adults now, so they can decide whether or not they want to have intercourse. And told to anticipate a strong expectation of maturity, kindness, consent, and compassion. So maturity and the consent. And it could be considered compassionate too. I'm going to give you what you need here behind the shed. Why don't you just consent and we'll make you a man, little Johnny, or we'll make you a woman, little Sally. Yeah, because, this is co-ed sleeping arrangements. 2 17-year-olds. I had a coworker once who learned this the hard way. She had a 16-year-old daughter, and she wanted to trust her daughter. Oh, her daughter's mature. She can make the right decision. She was allowing her daughter to sleep every night in the same bed with her 16-year-old boyfriend. How long do you think it was before the daughter was pregnant? I understand you want to trust your kids, but you can't. You cannot trust adults, let alone hormone-diluted teenagers. 100 years ago, 16-year-olds were getting married in this country every single day. That's even happened in my lifetime. I remember I was working at a restaurant once, and there was a big wedding party, and the kids were 14 and 15 years old that were getting married. I don't know how that's even legal, but that's what was happening. Daily Wire highlighted how, in an appearance on the Kelly Clarkson show, the camp's lesbian founders, Kayla Weisbuck and Jessica Weisbuck, stated all of our housing is genderless, bathrooms are genderless, we ask for names and pronouns from campers, and they can change them all they like. So in other words, the pronoun thing is a joke, as I've said all along. You can just change your pronouns whenever you want to. It could be any pronoun you want. Therefore, it's meaningless. And we should just abolish it, like I've stated from the beginning. Freaking joke. Kayla Weisbuck noted further that the camp has a clothing closet so that children can explore their gender identity and try and find like who they are and what feels good to them. What feels good to them. That clothing closet. Yeah. Sure, they're trying to... Look, when I was 12, I had a girlfriend and I wanted to do her. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. And she wanted me to do her too. And nothing happened now. We were still kids. I was still scared. But she definitely, she was like, let's do it. Let's go. You and me. And I was like, yeah, I want to, but I don't know. When I was 13, I had a girl. This is a really kind of a disturbing story. I was 13. She was 13. She was my friend's, actually, she was his aunt, believe it or not. He was about 2 years younger than her, a year and a half younger than her. And she was his aunt. Weird. Yeah, we were in private once, and she rubbed herself against me to get herself off. 13. She was not a virgin. I did not know that. I didn't know any of this stuff. I was like, didn't even know what was going on. I was like, what is happening here? One camper told Clarkson, I was able to perform do drag. I was able to do so many activities. Yeah, 12 to 17. One promotional video for the camp shows children dressing up in drag and putting on performances. I'm sure they're all appropriate too. It's all very, very, very classy. The camp makes no secret of the activities, stating on its website, we bid farewell to gender-segregated spaces and activities, tossed aside arbitrary dress codes, and ensured our campers would have to justify or explain their identities. B. B is for bi. How many of these boys are bi? 17-year-old boy is bi, and he happens to be alone with a 13-year-old girl. These people. I don't have any words for them. They're just the scum of the earth. Campers also embark on a journey of self-discovery and learn more about the LGBTQ plus community through exclusive programs you'll only find at an LGBTQ plus camp. By the way, the plus stands for S. The S stands for stupid. Continued the write up on the camp's website. This includes identity-based groups, captivating drag shows and workshops, enlightening queer history lessons, and a fantastic clothing closet where you can explore gender expression or experiment with a new look. Yeah. Then gender expression. There's two genders. We've talked about this. I went over the etymology of the word gender and how this is a bunch of garbage, that they are pushing an agenda. They forcefully changed the word gender to try and make it mean your expression, your daily expression. Kayla Weisbach made clear in the Forbes interview that the camp is not just about isolating children from parents and society in a place where they can stage drag shows and explore their sexual identities. It's not about just isolating children from... Sounds like it is to me. It's also a means of weaponizing children in the culture war. Oh, they're saying the quiet part out loud here. We gotta fight the culture war. We have to change everybody to woke. Everybody has to be woke. You're more asleep than ever when you're woke. It's crazy. She suggested that non-straight kids are an overlooked resource when it comes to fighting for so-called social justice. Again, saying the quiet part out loud. If we can hone in on that, these ripples will start to show, said Kayla Weisbach. It's all about creating and starting those ripples. The North Face, which still categorizes its clothing in accordance with the sex binary, appears keen on continue creating ripples of its own with leftist propaganda. Last year, the company courted controversy and calls for boycott with an ad campaign featuring a transvestite inviting viewers to come out in nature with us. Now, this is Robbie Starbuck. He says, can anyone explain how the heck this ad helps the North Face sell outdoor clothes? They're screaming at you to not buy their products. If this violates your values, accept their challenge. The North Face is owned by the VF Corporation, which also owns Supreme, Vans, and Timberland. Let's take a look at this video. You're gonna appreciate it. If you haven't seen this yet, you're gonna really appreciate what it has to show us here.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual, and today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite you to come out in nature with us. Wow, this is nice. We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year we gave
Where's the rest of the LGBT crew? Only lesbians are there?
I saw shade across the nation and celebrated pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year we're back again with 2 new stops. Atlanta, GA. Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Patty, can we go?
Of course. This year, all these fabulous speakers will be coming from inside this TV to a nature near you. So come outside and celebrate the beautiful LGHGTV community. That's pretty gay.
Yeah, they stole our initialism there. LGHDTV. How dare they? Taking our awesomeness from us. Newsweek noted that while Bud Light was taking a financial beating over its marketing partnership with transvestite influencer Dylan Mulvaney, the North Face doubled down, writing, "We recognize the opportunity our brand has to shape the future of the outdoors, and we want that future to be a more accepting and loving place." You know, I always said, don't hurt these people. Don't hurt people who are, of a different persuasion. I don't think we have a choice anymore. Man, this is getting to the point where it's going to... I'm not joking. I mean, this is becoming like... They want to indoctrinate the kids. Look, if you have a camp for LGBTQ people, I don't care. There are those people... If you come by that persuasion organically, you're just like, this is how I feel I am. You are not influenced by people telling you that you're this way. Okay, fine. You're that way. Whatever. I'm not going to stop you. So you can have your little camp. But we know that a lot of this is a social contagion. People are being told they're this way when they're not. And, I was listening to NPR. So I have a long commute. I listen to NPR when I'm driving because, they're evil. So I'm kind of hear the other side. And they had a woman on there. She's an older woman. I think she's an author now. I think that's what she does. But she said she went to an all-girl school and they were all gay. All of them were just like munching rug the whole time. And her mom even told her, she's like, look, sweetie, being lesbian is a very nice place to park your car, but you don't want to buy a house there. Something to that effect, right? In other words, yeah, go ahead and experiment with this lesbianism stuff, but, move on. And she said that every single person that she knew from high school, every single woman, because it was a girls' school, every single one of them stopped being gay and got married and had children, except her. She was the only one who stayed. So you see how much of a social contagion this sort of behavior is? How many of those girls at that time, if you had asked them, are you gay? They would have been like, yeah. Because that's what they thought. That's what their friends were. That's what their peer group was. That's what they were hearing in their heads and what they were being told by each other. There's seriously a social contagion with this. The clothing brand is not just committed to pushing LGBT propaganda. It is also apparently captive to the strain of identitarianism that predominates on the left. The Sun reported last month that the company offered customers a 20% discount if they agreed to suffer through an hour-long course on racial inclusion and the unique challenges that people of color face when accessing the outdoors. People of color face unique challenges when accessing the outdoors. Is this like how people of color can't get state ID, so therefore we can't have voter ID laws? Is that what this is? The same thing? Because as far as I know, anybody is allowed to walk outside their house. There's no restrictions on people walking outside of their house based on race, going to the park based on race, driving off into the country based on race. There's none. Obviously, there's a lot more poverty amongst the black community than there is amongst the white community. So they might not have access to a vehicle if they're living in the city, right? Because you can live in Chicago without a car. You can live in Boston without a car. You can live in New York without a car, right? You can live in these places without a car. So maybe they don't have a car. They can't get out into the country. I understand that. They can rent a car. Are they being kept from renting cars? The critic noted that the irony is that the North Face is implicitly acknowledging here that all its customers are white. Yeah, that's true. They're saying all our customers are white. So, and they even got a white trans person here, but that's okay, right? They're trans, so it's acceptable. Ridiculous. It doesn't matter that they're white. They're trans, so they qualify as underrepresented or whatever. Now, I found this statement by the North Face. The North Face, let's sum up what you heard in the stories. Privilege can give us access to the outdoors. That means some people can enjoy advantages that they inherit from birth and or accumulate over time. For example, aspects of identity that can give privilege relate to race, religion, gender, wealth, sexual orientation, ability, or citizenship status. Ability, yes. I mean, if you don't have legs, or if you're paralyzed, if you have problems with your legs, you're going to have a harder time getting to the outdoors. Understandable. Wealth, like I stated earlier, like if you're living in the inner city and you don't have a car, it's going to be hard for you to get to the outdoors, right? You might be able to walk to the park. That'd be about the extent of it. You're not going to be able to go out to the country. If you don't have enough money or enough time to go visit the wilderness, then that's going to be a problem too. Maybe you're working too much. In this particular context, we refer to white privilege, meaning that your race and skin color can give you access to the outdoors when others can be excluded because of historic enduring racism and biases. Hey, look, man, if you're Latin, if you're Native American, if you're Indian, if you're Arabic, if you're black, if you're Eastern Asian, go the F outside. I don't care. I'm not stopping you from doing that. And there's no system in place that keeps people from doing that. You might have a life circumstance that keeps you from doing that, but that's not a race issue. That's a life circumstance issue. This implicit bias, as they like to call it, is strong in these people. They just wholeheartedly believe that the people are being oppressed based on their skin color in this country. I'll tell you right now, my wife is not white. She is 100% not white. Tomorrow, she has the afternoon off. I can grab her up. We can go down to the beach and we can hang out all day long if we want to. We got a field, no joke. So you don't consider this the outdoors, but there are agricultural fields less than a block. No, they're a little more than a block from us here. Just walk over there, enjoy that. And then walk down the street there to the bike path, hop on the bike path, and there you go, you're in the park. It's not hard to get to the outdoors. I don't understand why people think that it's difficult. You drive up to the mountains here, hang out in the mountains, go hiking. In fact, between the two of us right now, I have the limitation. I can't go hiking right now. My wife can though, and she's not white. Huh. What do you know? What a weird world we live in where, a white man married a woman who isn't white, and yet she is capable of enjoying the outdoors more than he is. The North Face, I mean, they got it all wrong somehow. That's a weird coincidence. What a weird thing to happen. Anyway, thank you for watching. Boycott the North Face. They don't have very good stuff anyway. I mean, it's all right, but I don't buy their stuff. You probably shouldn't buy their stuff. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.